on the bright side, yeah,
Guys, I'm going to first start out with the iPhone XR, okay? We're just going to look at the price points of all these new products they launch and when they're going to be available. Then we'll go into the specs. This product I start out with first because this is their more affordable iPhone model that I think is actually going to be the top selling iPhone in their lineup, okay? I think this is going to be the one that sells like crazy. Comes in at $749. You can get it in 64 gigs, 128 or 256. And when we'll look at the specs a little later, when I look at the specs of this phone, I see a phone that's going to sell really, really well at that price point, okay? That one's not available as far as pre-order goes till October 19th. It will be available for everybody to buy on October 26th. So the iPhone XS, okay? This one starts at $1,000, so the same price point that the original iPhone X started at, but it's got better specs across the board. We'll look at that. This one you can get in 64 gigs, 256, or 512 gigabytes of storage. Then they also launched an iPhone XS Max, which is a massive phone, a massive phone as far as the screen size. This is a one that starts at $1,099 starts, okay? This one's available as 64 gigs, 256, and 512. Those phones are available for pre-order on September 14th and are available for people to buy September 21st. iPhone lineup is now, you have the iPhone 7 coming in at $449 starting, iPhone 8 starting at $599. They have the iPhone XR, which is I think is going to be the top selling iPhone, starting at $749. They have the iPhone XS, which starts at $999, and then they have the iPhone XS Max starting at $1,099. And as far as the specs on those last two phones, they're pretty much identical, except for the screen is ridiculously massive on the iPhone X there. Now they launched this new Apple Watch, okay? This is the thing we'll kind of look at the specs at first. It's called Series 4 Apple Watch. This new Apple Watch, larger edge-to-edge screen, giving the biggest facelift since the launch in 2014. The screen is 30% larger than the previous version, while the device itself has become thinner, which I think is important. The bigger focus was really on the health side of what this watch can do, okay? The new watch comes with a new sensor that lets you take an ECG, guys, an ECG that measures the heart's rhythm and notifies you if there are defects in the AFib, okay? That is pretty amazing stuff, all right? It is now able to detect falls and automatically initiate an emergency call as well. The new watch Series 4 starts at $399 and is available for order starting on Friday. They are also dropping the watch Series 3 price tag to $279. So iPhones now, all right? So let's first start off with the highest end iPhones they launched, which is iPhone XS, okay? If you look, these iPhones have a bigger screen size than the iPhone 8 Plus, okay? And the amazing thing about the iPhone XS Max is literally that it's a smaller phone, but with a much larger screen size because the bezels are so big on the older iPhones, all right? If we look at the iPhone XS, it still has a bigger screen size than even an iPhone 8 Plus, right? Just because simply the bezels are so big, but you can fit in your pocket much easier, all right? Available new A12 chip, which will likely have the best benchmarks of any phone period out there in the world. Like when this comes out, it's going to be insane. They're talking about up to 50% faster graphics performance, up to 15% faster performance cores, up to 50% lower power usage in efficiency modes, which is very interesting. 8-core neural engine, enhanced image signal processor, advanced performance controller. As the cameras go, that's always very important. Both those models of the phone have a dual 12 megapixel camera. You can look at all the specs there. They can also do 4K video at up to 60 frames per second, all right? And as far as a front-facing camera, we know people love to take selfies. That's a very high-end camera there on the front side, and you can even still do video at 1080p, 60 frames per second, which is, let's get to the one that I think is going to be the really high-selling one, okay? The iPhone XR, which has a 6.1-inch display. That's a massive display. It's the largest LCD ever on an iPhone, so the other ones have an OLED display. This one has an LCD, has industry-leading color accuracy, white color gamut, true tone. This phone is also a massive phone in terms of screen size. Look at how much much bigger it is in terms of what you get for screen size versus an iPhone 8 Plus. It's a massive difference there, all right? This one, they claim to have the most durable front glass ever in a smartphone, okay? Precision machined aerospace grade aluminum bands, water and dust resistant, and they have 6 different finishes for the phone. So the iPhone XR, it has the A12 chip in it. That's the amazing thing, okay? So they put the highest end chip they have into this phone. An iPhone has a 12 megapixel rear camera, so it doesn't have the dual camera setup like the highest end iPhone does, all right? Phenomenal front facing camera with portrait mode, with depth control, and once again 1080p at 60 frames per second. That just amazes me as someone that's started out as a videographer and whatnot. And as far as if you want the highest end model, so the highest end model, the biggest model that has the most storage, it will come in at $1,449 price point there, guys. Oh my.